Okay, this is a reaction video, USA versus Europe, Guide to Cultural Differences. This is by Honest Guide. Let's see what this is all about. USA versus Europe, the cultural differences.
Hey there, we are guides from Prague, Czech Republic, and this is one of our favorite pubs. But somebody just recently left a nasty review complaining about the fact that the waiter simply asked them, "You want a beer?" The waiter brought the beer, and then once the person was finished, they brought another beer, and this guy was complaining about it.
They're complaining about getting another beer?
What is he talking about? That's the best thing. Once you're finished with your beer, they bring another one. So for me, from the perspective of a Czech European, that's a good sign. For an American, that may be kind of weird or...
No, it really isn't, to be honest with you. I don't know that if I was having a drink and wherever I go out, if I'm, almost finished with my drink, I'd like them to bring me another one.
Rude. So today we want to talk about cultural differences.
Yeah, because that's not rude from an American's perspective. Most Americans I know would not have a problem with that.
Between our country, our city, and United States of America. First of all, you may be surprised what the beer looks like. Well, we have a video dedicated only to that. And second, when I walked in, I didn't look at a beer menu or something that may be quite common in the United States where you have different beers on tap.
Yeah, you when it comes to beer, you usually get in most restaurants, there's like a menu which will tell you what's on tap and what you can get.
Most pubs and restaurants in Czech Republic will have one brewery on tap in the pub. So that's why you can walk in and just say, "I'll have one." So I kind of like that. You walk into a pub and you don't have a million choices. You just say one. In US, not only you have a choice of beers that are on tap, quite often there's 5, 10, 20, but also they will ask you, do you want draft or bottle? What kind of question?
Well, it's a very simple question. Do you want it on a draft or do you want it in a bottle? I don't know why that's so difficult to understand, but that's what they do in the United States.
The question is that the reason you go to a pub is to get beer on tap, to get draft beer.
Not everybody does it that way. Not everybody likes it that way.
If you want bottled beer, you go to a supermarket. So
no, not always. Okay, it's a little bit. Look, you're thinking like a European, and I'm thinking like an American. So,
So for us, that's a big cultural difference that quite often we don't understand. Now, a beer here costs 55 crowns. Let's call that $2.50 to round it up. If you go to a stadium, to a sports event here in Prague, it's going to cost around $3. Well, nothing like that in US. If you go to a pub, it may cost $5, $6. And you go to a stadium, and it can cost $10, $15, even $20.
No, I've never been any place where it's $10, $15, or $20, okay? Now, I could be wrong on this, and you people who go to stadiums can tell me if it's different, but I've never had to pay $20 for a beer, or $15, or even $10 for a beer. I think the most I've ever had to pay at a sports place, I think, was $8 for a beer. But no, look, you're getting a cheaper stadium in Europe, and that's great. But no, you're not spending. I've never seen a beer $20.
Honza hates it. Whenever he goes to a sports event, he's always shocked with the price of the beer. I myself, when I travel to US, I usually don't go to sports events, but I like amusement parks. And just recently, I visited Universal Studios. It was the most
those places that is true. If you go to the theme parks, that's very expensive. Those are incredibly high prices.
Expensive beer I ever.
And you pay enough to get into those parks. Okay, like you're paying over $100, and then they charge you an arm and a leg for refreshments. That is true.
Ever had in my life, $15. I could.
Like I said, that doesn't surprise me. But on a stadium, you said $20 and $50. Never, nobody's going to pay that.
Not believe it. Now, I understand that going to amusement park, you don't go there for beer, you go there for the rides, but still $15? Dude, it was insane.
Hey, you didn't have to buy it. Nobody's putting a gun to the back of your head and saying you have to pay for this.
Why did I?
Or you have to get a beer. Okay, but no, look, you're not going to get an argument with me off of that. I've been to many amusement parks. Haven't been to one recently, but yeah, you go in there and you pay an arm and a leg, and then you're paying even more. So yeah, that is true.
I do that. Also, fun fact, I did not take a picture of the beer, but I did take a picture of the receipt.
Yeah, and there's your $15 for the beer, tax, $16.43, and if you look right there on the bottom there, they have the percentage for the tip for the gratuity. So it could make it almost a $20 beer at the amusement park. So yeah, I mean, to me, that's excessive. I don't know why they charge that amount for a beer at an amusement park. That makes no sense. And then they expect it, that's terrible.
Now, the price of the beer, as I said, at the amusement park was $15, but I was asked to pay more than $16.
Right, because of the tax.
Why? It said $15. Well, tax was not included. What is this about? We go to a place, and I'm not only talking restaurants, but any store or shop, and the price tag is the final price you pay. It says $55 here, it's gonna cost $55. They include the tax. Why don't you do that in US?
Because we don't. Okay, look, it's something I've grown up with all my life. It's something I've understood all my life, okay? I realize it's different over in Europe, but in the United States, the tax is added on at the end. You don't know what it is because it varies state to state. It's not one specific tax. That's why.
It's just sad. I mean, imagine me, I'm 11 years old, I have my first dollar ever, and I walk into a dollar store, looking forward to buy something for $1. I pick up the item, go to the register, $1.50.
Newsflash, if you go there and your dad or mom gives you $1 to pay for something, that's all fine and well. They already know the tax is going to be added on, so they'll probably give you a quarter or a dime or a 15 cents. So you won't have to worry about that.
What? It's a dollar store. Everything costs $1, not dollar store plus tax.
Yes, we know this in the United States. It is dollar store plus tax. When we go into it, we know it.
Now let's switch from drinks to food. In any place, you can get some food, right? Mostly you pick something from the menu and no further questions will be asked. Do you want bacon? Do you want that cheese? Do you want this cheese? Do you want this or...
No, they really don't. Okay, to be honest with you, whenever you go to I was just at a restaurant with my girlfriend and my family this past weekend, okay? It tells you everything that comes with it. The only people who's generally doing the customizing is you, the individual. Like, I ordered a chicken sandwich. I said without mayo. My girlfriend ordered her hamburger without bun, okay? They don't always ask to customize or things like that on your food. Sometimes they do. Sometimes say, do you want cheese on that or do you want bacon on that? But it's not a big giant production like he's making it out to be.
That and that. It gets quite confusing for us. And you can imagine me being 11 years old in US, in New Jersey, first walking to a restaurant, ordering a burger, very much looking forward to it. And they asked me, how do you want your burger done?
Yes, because in the United States, do you want rare, medium, medium well, or well done? They will ask. Now, at a McDonald's, they will not ask that question. Your burger's going to come one specific way. But yeah, if you go to like a restaurant, sit-down restaurant, they're just going to ask you, how do you want to cook? Now, some restaurants, they won't ask you that question. They say our burgers are medium, and that's just how they're going to be cooked. But yeah, you're going to ask that question.
I said, I don't know, very well done, thinking that they would make it completely. Yeah, you can imagine what happened. They brought this black...
Yeah, they very well done. It was burnt charcoal crisp. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with asking, why are you asking me that question? I don't understand. That's all you got to say. I don't understand. They'll explain it to you.
Black piece of meat that was unedible. And all my friends had a laugh about it. Now, to be fair, if you go to a restaurant in Prague nowadays and you will have a burger, they will ask you how you want it done. But once again, the fact that you can customize anything at a restaurant in US is very uncommon for us here. So if you come to a pub or a restaurant...
You know, the waiters and waitresses in the United States are there to assist you and help you. They will ask you questions, and help you out about what's being asked of you.
In Czech Republic, don't expect that you can customize every single item on the menu. That's why there's a menu with things that you pick from. I really hope we didn't lose our subscribers from United States. We love you.
No, No, look, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I saw this one, why I'm talking about it, because I said, you do it your way, we do it our way. If I go to the Czech Republic and I sit there and I order a burger or something like that, I'll take it as it comes. Okay, I'm not somebody who goes there and go, I want this. No, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, that's just how we do things here.
You guys, so to say something that we consider to be amazing in US that we don't have here is water. Free water.
Yeah, they bring out, most places you go to, I sit down, we'll bring out a complimentary glass of water, and they won't get upset if you just say, I'll just have the water. You can even ask for it with lemon if you want.
Water at a restaurant, at a bar, anywhere. You sit down at a table, and in US, you get a glass of water. Never happens in the Czech Republic, ever. Not only that, if you ask for tap water, quite often they will say, no, we don't serve tap water. And you will get a tiny little bottle of water that you will pay for $2, $3, $4. It's ridiculous. I know a restaurant where...
when I was over in Europe, when I was over in Germany, and I asked for water, it all came that's what bubbly water that was had fizz in it. It was terrible. I just wanted water. I didn't want anything like that. But that's the only way it came.
Where I go to, and I will always say, can I get tap water? They're like, no, we can't do that. We can only sell you a bottle. And I quite often say, I'll pay you the same price that I'll pay for the bottle for tap water. Like, no, we can't do that. Crazy. Now let's talk about service in restaurants and pubs, because that may be a bit of a shock for you when you come to Prague. Yes, quite often it is rude and not polite at all. That's also...
I've actually heard that. Now, but that's okay. Okay, look, in the United States, services generally, the server will come back at least 5 or 6 times, and sometimes they'll ask to make sure everything is okay, and they'll refill your water. They'll refill your drink if you got a soda or a Coke or a Pepsi. What do you have, and then they'll refill it for you at no extra charge to you. But yeah, sir, I have heard service in Europe is quite different.
Also a huge difference for us when we go to US, and a waitress will come to our table and she will introduce herself and she will smile and she will maybe recommend something.
And a lot of that is also that you'll give her a nice gratuity, that you'll give her a nice tip. But yeah, that's that. But it's also part of their job in the United States. You want good service. That's what you're paying for.
From the menu, that would never happen here. I mean, it's changing. Don't get me wrong. Service is getting better. But if you go to like a local place, a dive bar, which I would consider this place to be, quite often they'd be grumpy, and it takes a long time for them to get to know you. And after maybe a 20th visit, they will share a little smile with you. Not like in US. First time visitor, oh, I love coming here to our restaurant. My name is Wendy. Can I take your order? Hey, Wendy. Speaking of Wendy, when I was first called darling or honey in a restaurant in US, I was like, she really loves me. She just called me darling.
Sorry, pal. She does that with everybody. It's not a monogamous relationship. It's definitely a shared feeling that she has with everybody.
I like that. I mean, I like...
I'm glad you like it.
I like the bartender here, but he never calls me darling.
I don't think you want him to call you darling.
Let's make it stay that way, okay? We're tough guys. Even though the two of us consider the service at places in the United States very good and very nice and very polite, there is one thing that we consider to be very rude. And that is, you're finishing your meal or maybe you're halfway through and suddenly a bill lands on your table.
Yeah, some places will give you that bill before you're actually finished. And that's not meant to be rude. Although you may consider it rude. It's just them putting it down there. They're not asking for it. They want you to pay it right now. They're just giving it to you so you have it. That's all it is. Because the other reason is, in case, let's just say you're finished with your meal and you're ready to go. Maybe you're in a rush. Maybe you're there just to eat and go, and you don't have a bill and you're waiting for the wait. Where is she? Where's the server? I need that. That's part of the reason for that as well.
What is that? Are you kicking me out? That would never happen here. any business, restaurant, pub, coffee place tries to keep you in the place as long as possible. You're done with your meal, they'll offer you a dessert. You're done with your dessert, they will offer you coffee. You're done with your coffee, maybe you want to start over and have another appetizer. Now,
Yeah, the other reason for that as well is depends on how busy they are too. And keep in mind, they're not trying to kick you out, but it's their way of, if you want, once you're done, you want to go so we can get other people seated too. It's can be interpreted as rude, but it's not intended to be rude.
in other words, they want to keep you in as long as possible. You have to ask for the bill. In US, very often, you're halfway through, here's your bill. I'm like, well, maybe I want another something. No, the bill is already on the table. Just weird.
No, they will. If they put something down there like that, you say, I'm going to want no problem. They'll take the check and they'll redo it for you.
Speaking of the bill, let's dive into tipping.
Yeah, that's a big thing about the United States. And that's something that I've gotten used to, is that, on another video I did with Walter's World, we talked about the don'ts of visiting the USA. One of the things he says, they talk about is tipping, is when you get a bill in the United States. Now, you don't have to tip. It is not mandatory that you have to tip, but it is generally expected of you because the waiter or waitress is not, it's part of their salary. It's part of how they make their money. And that's also part of the reason why they're there, giving you the best service possible, is they want a nice gratuity. But yeah, you will get a bill and it says, whatever, $24.56, whatever the price of everything is with tax and everything like that. And you put your card down, they'll take it, they ring it through, they'll come back for you to sign, and then there'll be something on add the tip. And it's usually 15 to 20% is usually what you give. But again, that's just how we do things in the United States.
That can create some big issues because that's a big cultural difference. In US, quite often we get asked, do you want to tip 15, 18, 20, 25%? Which for us is like, whoa, that's a lot. A quarter of the bill just tips? Because it's a tip-based country or tip-based business. In Czech, that used to be very, very different. I mean, my dad would only round up the bill to the next higher number. If the bill was 99, he would round it up to 100. I believe most of our dads and mothers still do that. Nowadays, it's changing even here, and tipping goes from 10% higher if you're satisfied with the service. If the service is really bad, some people will simply not tip. If that would happen in the US, that you would not leave a single cent on a tip, I've experienced people running out of the restaurant and be like, what happened? What did we do wrong? Like, why did you not tip? So tipping is very, very different, and I'm curious what you will say about that in the comments.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, if you don't tip, you don't. Like I said, that's just it's just how we've done things in the United States. I don't know. I've never done a deep dive on it to find out why that's done that way and all that stuff. But it is just something that's done in the United States.
Whatever country you're from, I want to read what's the average tipping in your country. Now, this cultural difference is not only huge, but I consider it to be evil, and that is packaging and garbage in general. I'm not talking about if you go to a place where it's a takeout or you go to a fast food. Yes, they put it in a paper bag, either if you're in US or here. But I'm talking about if you go to a restaurant and they create so much garbage, so much waste, even though you're at a restaurant. Quick example. Mostly if you get a drink at a bar in the US, they put a napkin under it, so it soaks the moist that's running under it. Well, that's for one use only. Afterwards, they will throw away the napkin. How about they use coasters?
There's some places that use coasters. And not all places use napkins. A lot of places use coasters. There's a place called the Winking Lizards that uses coasters. And I've been to other places that use coasters.
Because you can reuse the coaster. And that's just one very simple example. Another one is, if you order a ketchup at this place, they will bring it, either a bottle, some places in the US do that too, or they put it in a ceramic cup that they clean afterwards. Not that they grab 20 ketchups and throw them next to your burger, or even in McDonald's.
They do those in fast food places.
In Czech Republic, you pay for every single tiny packaging of any sauce, any ketchup. So you think about if you want one or two. In US, yeah, can I get some ketchup? Here you go, here's a million ketchups in tiny little bags. No, don't do that.
Who cares? I mean, look, that's just how we do things in the United States. Like I said, most places that I go to, we ask for ketchup. Ketchup's usually on the table. Like most places I go to, ketchup's already on the table in a bottle. As far as what he's talking about there, those plastic where they that usually in most places I've been to are at fast food places. But I've never been to a sit down place where I ask for ketchup and they bring me those packets. Usually they'll bring me a cup that's filled with they clean out.
I mean, you guys are going all Michael Bay packaging. Like, hey, yeah, that's a plastic bag. Let's put it in a paper bag and let's put more packaging and pack it up. You want it to go? Yeah, let's pack it up more. Whew.
Again, he had some. I don't know where he went, but he had certainly some much different experiences than I did when he went to a sit down place and I asked for ketchup, because I've never been to a place other than fast food places where they gave you those kind of packages, those packets for ketchup, and they don't give you that big of a handful. They generally, if I go to a fast food place, it's there. I can take as many as I wish, and if I do take some, I usually take one or two.
Meanwhile, in Europe, yeah, let's get rid of plastic straws. They really destroy the universe. There's going to be one hell of a discussion under this video. I absolutely love you guys from US, and I love going to US just so...
Look, hey, we love having you. You are not offending me, okay? I don't think you're offending anybody, okay? To be honest with you, you were just pointing out the differences between the United States and the Czech Republic. Now, if I have a bone to pick with the Czech Republic, it's what you did to my World Cup team when I traveled over to Gelsenkirchen and got beat 3-0 by you guys in the World Cup. That's what I got a bone with you guys to pick with you guys about. Although I can't say this, Peter Cech, I did meet him in Los Angeles, and he was nice enough to take a selfie with me, which I was very, very grateful for. But no, you're not offending anybody.
We both do. Please don't cancel my ESTA.
No, we aren't going to cancel.
Now let's drop the beer for a minute and let's talk about coffee and coffee culture differences between US.
Since I don't drink coffee, don't have much to say on this.
And Europe. Triggered already? Well, you'll get triggered more. Yes, in Europe, we do not consider this to be a cup of coffee.
I consider that to be about $6 or $8 thrown down the drain to me.
It's a gallon of coffee. If it's more than a gallon, it's not coffee. This is a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
By the way, shocker.
Look, when I was growing up, my parents did drink coffee. That's a cup of coffee. That is a monstrosity.
They have a cup of coffee in this pup. It's served in a ceramic cup. It's this size. You have a plate under it. It makes that little noise when you put it down.
Americans love their coffee. They love their coffee mugs, and they love their Starbucks.
Sometimes even get a spoon with it.
If you go to Seattle's airport, SeaTac Airport, I've gone through security, and once you get through security, there's a Starbucks right in front of you. But if that one's busy and and there's a long line, never fear. Just make a turn to your left and then turn around. There's another one right there, right next to it. So you can go to that one.
You can mix your little espresso, and this is how you drink it. Not a gallon. Doesn't fit in your car, so you can drive and sip on your little coffee soup throughout the day.
Again, I don't drink coffee, so I can't speak on this.
Big difference, big shocker for us when we go to places in US and they simply don't serve something like this. Hold your horses. I know that coffee culture in US is changing depending on which state you live in, if you live in a city and so on, but still mostly people think this is coffee and you...
Yeah. I get it. You're not offending anybody with this observation.
Cannot get this.
You're not offending anybody with this observation. We get it.
It's sad for us Europeans. Can I get a cup of coffee? You want venti, grande XL, grande XXXXL?
That's another thing about going to Starbucks and they ask that question if you don't know what it means. Just small, medium, large. That's all you need to say.
Like the Italians drink it. Now this next cultural difference may sound weird, but I believe it should be addressed. And that is restrooms and toilet sizes in restaurants.
Oh, yeah, that's something I completely agree. I think the Europeans have us dead to rights as far as restrooms are concerned. I've been to restaurant, when I went to in Germany, it was like your own private room. I said, yeah, that's the way it should be. But in the United States, you go into well, let's just put it this way. If you can hold it, if you're close enough to your hotel room, uh, you're better off just waiting to get back to the hotel room and do it there. Now, if you're a guy and you can use the urinal, great. But if you're a female, yeah, like even the cleanest ones still, I could see where he's coming from here.
And pups. And I'm not talking about the actual seat size, but I'm talking about you have a big pup and there's one toilet. There's like one restroom for the entire pup where there's like...
Yeah, that's true.
Hundreds of people. And the stalls where you can like sit to do number 2 are very like see-through. Like there's no privacy. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, it's not, well, if you want to, you can take a peek in that little gap there. I don't know why you would, but yeah.
There's no door at the bottom. Like if somebody peeks, they can see you. But it's kind of strange. And girls talk about that a lot. Both our girls talk about it, how like it's kind of weird that people can't really see you. So that's a big difference. If there's a big pub here, it has many restrooms, many toilets.
Yeah, now that's what it should look like to me. That's what when I was in Germany, that's what it looked like. Okay, and that's what it should be. Okay, it should be like on the doors should be like vacant or non-vacant. Somebody lets you know that somebody's in there, and just open the door and close it. Do your business, and nobody can peek in there. Okay, nobody needs to see you doing that.
And it can, do the business people need and accommodate many people at the same time. And of course, the ones we mentioned are not the only cultural differences between...
There's quite a few more.
Our continents. There's many more. We can talk about different units. We can talk about different forms of...
Public transportation in the United States is terrible. We don't use the metric system. You do.
Transportation, how we move around cities and countries, how big are our cars and your cars, and many more topics. So let us know in the comments if you want us to cover more topics. And while you're there, please don't be mad at us. This was not made to insult you, only to give you perspectives on our culture habits.
I have never seen this video. This is the first time I'm watching this. I'm doing a reaction to this. As an American, you are not offending anybody. I'll say this for the upteenth time. These are just observations. I get it. Okay? I am not offended. I'm not perturbed. I'm not angered by it. These are things that I've noticed. I've heard people talk about it from people who are in from not just Germany, but from Europe who've come and made the same comments. But so this, like I said, you're not offending anybody.
And your cultural habits that we experience when we go over to your lovely continent that we love to visit, but sometimes we're just like, that's weird. We're the honest dudes from Prague. That dude's name is Honza. My name is Janek. We go by the honest.
Nice to meet you, Janek.
Guide, our channel.
Yeah, please click like, share, and subscribe with the Honest Guide. Like I said, I really enjoyed this. And I really wanted to do an opinion on this because regard to cultural differences, and this is at a restaurant. And it's also something you need to know if you're going to come over to the United States, something you may not know. Something one thing he didn't talk, he talked about the water. But yeah, if you go to and you order a soft drink, order a Coke or a Pepsi or something like that, and it comes with, a gallon of, a ton of ice in it, don't worry about it, okay? They're going to refill it for you, okay? They do all that for you. And also, if you go to a Mexican restaurant in the United States, the chips and the salsa is usually complimentary. You don't have to pay for it, and they'll bring as much as you need. So that's something that I find. Please click like and share and subscribe with him, and please click like, share, and subscribe with me. I really enjoyed this one, and I hope they do more. I hope to do more of this one. This is the first time I've ever done the Honest Guide, and very, very good video. I enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.